my name's Millie and welcome to The Performing Arts and Me. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can train in musical theatre, so singing, dancing and acting whilst at home. This video is basically relevant for anyone that wants to train from home, be it pre-drama school in a gap year or whilst you're still at school, or instead of going to drama school or after drama school or anything like that. However, I am not claiming that these ideas are equivalent to drama school training because I haven't been to drama school. These are just some ideas of things that I thought you could do from home to train in singing, dancing and acting, if that is what you want to do. Okay, so my first idea is using YouTube. YouTube has so many videos. Now, I was looking for dance classes online and I found lots. I think I must have found over 100 videos on ballet that were either ballet classes or ballet technique or how to do pirouettes. Obviously, choose your classes carefully and make sure it's all safe and everything, and also make sure you're not training in any bad habits and that it's a good teacher. But there were hundreds of classes. It wasn't just ballet. I also found jazz classes, tap classes. I think I found hip hop, lyrical, contemporary, gymnastics as well, because that was something that I was looking to do. Gymnastics, contortion-y ones. Stretch classes, there's loads of those. Also, there's loads of conditioning classes, flexibility. I'm sure you can find yoga, Pilates. There's loads and loads of things on YouTube that you could use to train at home. The benefit of using YouTube classes rather than just practicing at home yourself, which is something I'm going to talk about in a minute, is that you've got a teacher there taking you through different exercises. So you might be doing exercises that you didn't know about before, and also I think sometimes they'll give generic corrections. Obviously they can't see you, it's not like Zoom or something, so it would just be a general correction. Lots of people do this, make sure you don't do this, that kind of thing. You might be able to find some classes which have those sort of corrections in them, which therefore might be helpful to help you improve your technique. The next thing I'm going to talk about is practicing at home on your own. If you go to a dance class or a singing class or an acting class and you get given these exercises, say warm-up exercises for singing, you could practice those at home. You could work on the tips that your teacher has given you in the previous lesson, and you could work on those until you have your next lesson. So just doing your own practice could be really helpful for you. My next idea of things you could do to practice is ballet specific. So the Royal Academy of Dance, the RAD, have an app which has on it their ballet syllabus. I spoke about this app in my training history and goals video, so you can check that out if you haven't already. Anyway, as I was saying, this app has ballet syllabuses on it. So it's broken down by kind of like, so you have bar, center, adage, allegro, point work, blah, 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 blah. And then within those, you have the individual exercises. Now, you do have to pay for each grade. So it would be helpful to know what grade you are. If you're taking an RAD exam, then obviously you could just buy your particular grade. So when I was practicing for my intermediate exam, I had this app and I found it really helpful to help me practice at home, so that if I couldn't remember the exercises, it was there, and also it had the music. But I'm now using it to actually try and teach myself the advanced ones syllabus. Obviously it's not quite the same as being in a ballet lesson and having the corrections, but it is nice to have some exercises that I can try and learn and get my head around. And I guess I can work on my technique because I assume the dancers on the app have quite good technique, so I can just try and make it look as much like them as possible. Although it's probably not perfect, at least it gives me something to work on. I think the two that I've had so far have been £20 each, but if it's something you're going to use a lot, it might be worth the money. Right, my next one's kind of acting specific, and that is read some plays. Now, you might think that that is not really practicing your acting skills, but if you don't read plays, how are you going to know where that monologue is that you're going to need for your drama school audition, for example? Reading a variety of plays would also get you to see how different playwrights write, and it exposes you to more characters and more scenarios, so that could be helpful with your acting in the future. Obviously, I'm not an acting teacher, so I don't know how good that is, but I think even if the only benefit of reading plays is that you find monologues, it's still worthwhile. Okay, my next one is kind of a bit of a challenge, and that is film yourself. Film yourself doing whatever discipline it is you want to work on. Maybe it's your singing, maybe it's your acting, maybe it's your dancing. Film yourself doing it, and then you can either watch it back, look at your errors, look at your technique. You might not realise that you were flat on that note, or you might not realise that your feet weren't pointed on that kick unless you watch the video. So that's one benefit of filming yourself. You could also, if something you're struggling with is your confidence, you could upload it onto YouTube, put it as an unlisted video, and then find a group of family, friends, supportive people who you're happy to share your work with. Create a WhatsApp group or something and send them the link. So then you know that people are watching your work, and it's kind of like getting performance experience but from home. However, there's something else you might want to do with this. After you've filmed your videos and watched them back and blah 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 blah, you may want to decide that you're only going to take one take and that is going to be it, because then it's kind of a bit more like a live performance. But that's up to you. My next idea for something that you can do to train at home is to watch things. Now, I'm saying watch things because it depends what you're trying to improve. So if you're trying to work on your acting, then find some good movies and watch them. But don't just watch them as in like, oh, that's a nice movie. Watch it like, oh, okay, so he did this and then that made this kind of image in my head and that would make me feel that way. So if I were trying to portray a character like that, then I'd do it like this. Or I didn't really like the way he did that, but if I were doing it, I should do this. You get the idea. Also, you could watch movies for enjoyment and fun anyway, but it might also be helpful to watch some movies in more of a seeing what you can learn from a performance way. The other things you can watch are dance videos. There's some on YouTube. There's often videos that people have put up after their competitions, or like ballets are sometimes up on YouTube. So see what you can find, and you can watch them in the same way, A, for enjoyment, and B, in looking to improve your technique and your performance, your artistry, etc. My next idea is music specific, so that is listen to songs. It's kind of similar to the reading the plays thing, but if you listen to more songs, you're going to have more choice when it comes to audition material for drama schools, etc. So why not try and find some new musical theatre songs to listen to? Lots of musical theatre songs, again, are on YouTube. There's also a radio station that I've found, which is called Magic at the Musicals, and they play musical songs. I think some are from films, but they also have theatre ones on there. And it just means that you can have it on and listen so that you can start to broaden your knowledge. And if you then think, oh, I like that song, don't recognise it, wonder where it's from, then you could look up that musical and find out more about it. The final idea that I'm going to talk about today is taking classes from home. Now, over the lockdown, I imagine you may have been doing this, and your dance school or singing teacher or acting teacher may have been offering Zoom lessons. However, there are still online classes going on. People are running classes from home. Often you have to pay for these, but it means that you can still access the classes even if you don't live anywhere near them. So that could be an option. One place you could get these classes is on a website called Magnetic Studios. I've never actually taken a class with Magnetic Studios or one that they've organised, so I don't know how good they are, but I have had someone recommend them to me. So do your research and check it, but that could be a starting place for you to take a look at. Well, I think that those are all the ideas that I wanted to share with you today. As I said, please do check all of them and do your research, because I'm not an expert. I haven't done all of these things. I'm just sharing some ideas that I've read about or heard about or are just in my brain somehow. But make sure you do double check anything before booking, etc. And also make sure the space around you is safe enough to, for example, dance in. I am planning to do a video on my ideas for a pre-drama school gap year. So do let me know if there's anything you would like me to talk about in that in particular. I'm also planning to vlog a few days of me training at home, but I'm not sure how well that's going to go, so we'll see if that video actually ever does come out. I hope this video has been helpful for you and has given you some ideas. If it has, please do give it a like to let me know, and leave any other ideas for training at home down in the comments so that other people can see them. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my future content, and thank you very much for watching. Bye!